Let's continue with building the bones of our application. In order to allow the user to adjust real estate for their content, let's give them the ability to resize the left-hand navigation. We can do this by leveraging a splitter control. At the top of your toolbox, expand the All Windows Forms tab. Scroll down until you see Splitter. Take the splitter and drag it onto your form. By its very nature, it will immediately snap to the left-hand side right against the navigation that you have. This will allow the user to resize their form accordingly. Next, we'll need to indicate status to our user. A lot of poorly written applications will pop up a dialog box indicating an error message or that something's been saved. There's a less intrusive way to do this, and that's with the StatusStrip control. Scroll down to your menus and toolbars. There, you'll see the StatusStrip control. Drag that onto your form. By default, that will snap to the bottom of your form. As you can see, Visual Studio also has a StatusStrip control. It notifies you that it's ready. Let's go ahead and customize our StatusStrip control. First, let's rename it. Let's call it StatusStrip Message. You can add a variety of different things to a status strip just like you would with a tool strip. By clicking on its interactive drop-down, you can add a status label, progress bar, drop-down button, split button, etc. For now, we'll keep it simple. Let's just add a status label. This status label will be the main console where we'll send messages about the status of the application. Again, this is much less invasive than popping up annoying dialog boxes with warnings. It also helps the user not only interpret errors and exceptions, but it also serves as a way to notify the user about positive conditions upon a successful save or when a committed update occurs. Let's give our toolstrip status label a name. We'll call it toolstrip status label message. We mentioned earlier, by using the names of the objects in the name of the control itself does make for unwieldy names, but it does add a lot of clarity when people try to understand what type of variable they're working with. For the text, let's set that to be ready. Scroll back up to your form and double-click on it. Now it's time to write a little bit of code. We have a label that accepts status messages. In our base form, which is the parent for all children forms, let's add a method that can be used to send messages to that label control. So in the code editor, scroll to the outside of the sub base form load. We'll create a new sub, but instead of making it private to the form, let's make it a friend. The scope friend indicates anything in this project can communicate with this method. Type in sub, type in write status message. And let's give it a variable. Type in by val message as string. Notice how IntelliSense guides you along, giving you the appropriate scope for what you're writing. Now press Enter. It's always a good practice to type in comments. Let's go ahead and add in comments to indicate what this method does. Another good practice is to use try-catch blocks before you even type any code inside of a method or a subroutine. You can do this by typing in try, press Enter. This will automatically populate a try-catch routine for you, which you can later go back in and fill in, or fill in now. Inside of a try, we want to go ahead and set the status label to indicate whatever message is passed to it. Select toolstrip status label message dot text and set that equal to message. Save all your changes. We now have a global routine that we can use on all forms.